Guys, I'm back with another video, and today I want to show you how I got this really cute tropical themed mani. So to start out, I have 2 coats of Wet n Wild French white cream on all of my nails. And for all of my fingers except for my ring finger, I'm going to use these colors. They're all from China Glaze. It's China Glaze Troublemaker. The yellow is China Glaze Daisy Know My Name. And this corally color is Flip Flop Fantasy. And I added a little bit of gold with Wet n Wild Ready to Propose. And I'm going to use the, I think it's called the baggy method, that I'm going to apply with my stamper head. So I showed you guys this technique before in a different video, but this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently because I'm going to take my colors and I'm not going to put as much of the green and the yellow as I am of the corally color. I'm going to put 3 dots of the green, 3 dots of the yellow, and then with the coral I'm going to put 6 dots of this because I want that to be the main color, like the main focus of the colors. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a couple little dots of the gold just to break it up a little bit and give it a little bit of sparkle. It's not really gold, it's more of like a champagne color. I really like it. Okay, and just like I showed you before, you're going to put your stamper down and kind of give it a little wiggle and a little twist. That's what it looks like. Just going to smush that on. Do that a couple times. And that's how it's going to look. Actually, I missed a little spot. So that's how it's going to look. And I'm going to do the same thing to the rest of my nails. I'll show you one more time. Just 3 dots of the green. If I can get my polish bottles to cooperate. There we go. 3 of the yellow. 6 of the coral. And just 3 or 4 of the gold. A little wiggle, a little twist. And then just smush it on the nail a couple times. And you can do that as many times as you want. Like if you did it and you thought you needed more coral, you could dip back in and do it again. As many times as you needed. Okay, so I got that nail finished. I'm going to go ahead and finish my other 2, and I will meet you right back for the stamping. Okay, so I'm back. I finished applying the polish to the rest of my fingers. And for the stamping portion, I'm going to be using BPL024. And I'm going to be using this image right here for my ring finger. And this image right here for the rest. I'm going to be using number 2 black from Mundo de Uñas. I'm going to be using my Marshmallow Stamper and my Creative Shop Scraper. So let's start stamping. I'm going to start with my ring finger. Make sure this is completely dry before I start the lead light. There's the beautiful image. Just going to go ahead and line that up. Stamp it on. Beautiful. Okay. And then I'm going to grab this image right here for the rest of my fingers. There's the image. Line it up. And I really like this plate now. It took me, I had to play with it a little bit in order to like figure out how to scrape it good and get the images a little easier. But I got some really good tips from lots of my lovely subscribers, and that really helped. So thank you all for everyone who left me comments telling me little things I could do to get this plate to work better, because it is, and I love it. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my thumb. Okay, and now I'm going to get this stuff cleaned up and bring out the stuff we need for lead lighting, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so for this part, I grabbed out some more parchment paper and just a small brush. I guess you could call it a detail brush. It's very small, but not super duper tiny. And you can also do this with a dotting tool if you like. I grabbed out a couple of my homemade jellies. This one is made with Daisy Know My Name. This one is made with Troublemaker. And I also kept out the Ready to Propose. I'm just going to do a little accent with that. I kept out my Troublemaker polish because I'm going to add another drop of this to the jelly polish just to make it a little more opaque. And I kept out the Flip Flop Fantasy because I don't have a jelly polish that I've made with this. So I grabbed that and some clear polish out so that way I can make some jelly polish out of it. And I'm going to show you how I do that. But to start out, I'm going to put just 1 or 2 drops of the yellow on my wax paper. And I'm doing this with my non-dominant hand. I definitely should have showed you guys me doing my left hand, painting with my right, but oh well. So I'm going to start with the outside of the petals of each flower. And just bring it in. And I don't want it to go all the way in because then it won't blend together. The whole flower will be one color. I'm just taking it all the way from the outside to about halfway towards the middle. And I'm being careful not to color in any of the foliage around the flowers. And it's okay if you get it on the black because it's jelly polish, it won't show up. Which is one of the reasons why I'm capable of doing this with my left hand. Okay, and then I'm also going to take a little tiny bit and color in just the stamen, the little stick part. Okay, I'm add a little bit more so it's a little darker. This one doesn't really have much of one, but still. Color in what's there. Okay, so now I'm going to make the Flip Flop Fantasy jelly polish, and if I can open it, this is just regular clear polish. This is not a top coat. It's regular clear polish. There is a difference. If you use a top coat, it's going to be thick and goopy, and it's going to dry up really, really fast, and it's going to be really hard to work with. So just put a couple drops of that. I put way too much, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to put a drop or two of the Flip Flop Fantasy and mix that together, and that's going to make like a tinted polish, a jelly polish. So a little bit more. There, that should do it. Okay, I'm just going to mix that up real quick. And I just mix it until I can't see like the separation anymore. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to take a little bit of this on the end of my brush and start from the middle of each petal and work my way out and go a little more than halfway to where I'm overlapping just a little bit with the yellow. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And because the yellow's still wet, it'll blend together really, really well. A little bit more on this flower. And just make sure I cover up all the white. Okay. Then I'm going to take a couple of drops of the green jelly that I've already made and mix in just one more drop of the treble maker. So it probably only needs like one drop total. Just one little drop will probably do it because it's already tinted. I just want to make it a little darker because it's a little too sheer. And I don't want to have to put, you know, 2 or 3 coats over it because it'll start to look like bumpy right there. Okay, so that should do it. And I'm just going to color in all of the foliage, so all the leaves and stuff that are around the flowers. And you can see it's still really, really sheer, but it's a little more opaque than it was. And be careful when you're doing this. If you did not add a top coat after stamping, which I don't, then just be careful, especially if you're using a dotting tool, because if you go over the same area too many times or if you push too hard with your brush or your dotting tool, it'll scrape off the stamping. So you gotta kind of just float the polish over it. Or you could always just add a top coat and then you won't really have to worry about that as much. Okay, I think I've pretty much colored in all the white, a little bit right here. Okay, so I've pretty much colored in all the white at this point. And if you can see where those couple little dots are at the top of the stamen, I'm going to take my trusty dotting tool. Whoops. I'm going to take my trusty little dotting tool because the point is so fine. It's a lot smaller than any dotting tools that I have. Even my smallest one leaves quite a bit of a size difference in the dots. So I'm going to use this, or a toothpick would probably work great. So I'm just going to get a little bit on the end, just where it's a teeny little dot, and I'm going to try to put this right where the white is, because if I put it over the black, you'll be able to see. It's just going to add a little bit of color right there and just a teeny bit of sparkle. Okay, I think that about did it. I'm going to go ahead and add a top coat, and I'll meet you right back with the final result. So I have finished top coating and cleaning up, and this is the finished result. Still got a little bit of cleanup left, but that's okay. They are all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you like this look. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, and come back to see me next time. Bye!